Good evening, my family and friends, Facebook, all y'all. Just a little update. I'm having trouble starting the podcast because I've gotten some things that are kind of like missing some parts. So I got a friend that's supposed to help me get these parts together so that I can build the mic stand and the rest of the studio and all this and get the computer. He's got a nice little deal for me, so I don't want y'all thinking I forgot about it or whatever, but I am still gonna do it. Just working out some kinks. In the meantime, I figured I'd give y'all a little story on my way to work. Just a little PSA, public service announcement. I do not condone any substance abuse, violence, or illegal activities that are in any of my stories, but I've got a lot of stories, and a lot of these stories were, during addiction. So they're definitely gonna have like some drugs and all that good stuff in them. No, I wouldn't say good stuff, but yeah, they're gonna have all that stuff in them. So, trigger warning. Anyhow, so I'm gonna call this story Divine Intervention. And none of these stories are gonna be in any specific order. These are just stories that I've lived through, and some people can vouch for them because the people that hear them will know who they are and what parts of these stories they belong in if they hear them, if they even listen to them. So anyway, remember back in the days when, the pill mills were popping and all the pharmaceutical companies were pushing the whole painkiller craze, like these things aren't addictive and all that bull stuff. Well, during that time, I'm sure a lot of you guys remember the whole sponsor me thing where like you'd find somebody that would pay for your trip or give you a certain amount of, irks out of the deal. Well, I was one of those guys that got sponsored. I mean, I went all over the place. I went to Maryland. I went to New York. I went to Florida mostly, like all over Jacksonville, Miami, Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, Fort Myers, you name it. I was all over Florida because they were giving the best amounts. And let me tell you, these doctors' offices were ridiculous. When I say ridiculous, I mean like the parking lots would have people camped out in them overnight for days at a time. They had like vendors in the like they'd have food trucks fenced off so nobody could see them from the outside. Hell, some of the doctors' offices even ordered pizza so that they wouldn't lose customers coming in and out. Hell, and some of them even stayed open 24 hours a day. Some of these hospitals stayed open 24 hours a day just so that they could see the amount of patients that they were seeing, because they were giving out so many perks. So many. Anyhow, so back to the sponsorship. I was dating someone at the time. We'll just say she was one of 3 baby mamas. And we had finally sponsored ourselves enough times that we could afford a trip on our own. We decided to take a trip, go see the doctors, fast forward to them filling our stuff, blah, blah, blah. We got them, we got back. The first stop was at her cousin's house. Because we were trying to get rid of these things as fast as possible. And let me tell you, they gave you a lot. Like, for reference, you would get like 240 big ones, 180 little ones. You would also get like 90 Zan bars, and just to sprinkle some sugar on top, they'd give you some crazy amount of gabapentin and even some Flexerol sometimes. It was just an atrocious amount of medication for God knows what. Nobody has that much pain. I mean, I never understood why they give you 30s that you're supposed to take every 4 hours, 4 to 6, I think. And then if you have breakthrough pain, you're supposed to take these 15s in between. On top of that, a Xanny bar for anxiety. Wow. Like, if the pharmacies and the doctors weren't trying to kill you, or whoever had this big plan to make the world opiate addicts, I mean, everybody should get a settlement right now. Everybody that was going to these doctors or getting any of these pills should get like $1 million settlement right now. I'm surprised there's not a class action lawsuit against like big pharma. Anyhow, so me and the ex-girlfriend get back from our trip. We go to her cousin's house because he's our little trap spot. We're gonna trap out of there, and he also has a couple guys he needs me to cut. Granted, they were waiting for me to get all the way back from Florida. I should have known there was an issue right there, but me being an addict, I was loaded off of as many perks as I could have ate and probably a Xanny bar. So anyway, so we get back to her cousin's house. I meet these two guys I'm gonna cut, and you know, like as soon as we get there, like we're selling like hotcakes. You know what I'm saying? Shit is just moving. You know, this is a footnote. As this was going on, I noticed that there was a revolver just sitting around. There was just a revolver sitting around, and it's not odd because you know in this line of business you have guns. So I wasn't really tripping. I just seen the revolver laying around. So I'm cutting these guys, and no sooner than I'm cutting the second one, me and my baby's mom, we sold out. We sold out of everything, like probably in like 2 hours. Mind you, when we got back from Florida, it was already like 12 o'clock in the morning. So it's like 2 o'clock in the morning now. I'm finishing the last guy.